sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur. Femur.
We make money now?
No, we had to pay
So
them.
this episode, it's just too slippery. I'm slicing everything.
Every time I swing my 5-iron, it goes up that guy's ass.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's your host, Jim and Foo.
I would just like to say, welcome.
Welcome to Sad Dads Club podcast.
Welcome to the show.
It is California day 6 of our shelter in place. Continue to maintain your social distance, please.
And it's like people have lost their damn minds. I mean, just from staying home is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I know my wife is getting cagey.
It is, so I had I think by last week we had already, in this house, because of the kids in school came first. So we were already semi-adjusted to what day-to-day was going to be like. But going into the second week,
yeah,
now, it's like I think the kids have we've got them into a schedule. But you can start to see how telecommuting, not in our house specifically, but how telecommuting for people who aren't used to working at home, as particularly myself, who's someone that's been doing it for decades now, you can see like, oh, I've been there. I know what that's like. That's that phase.
I will admit, I mean, I'm not used to working from home.
Yeah.
Never really done it, but it's different.
It is. And I was talking with Grant, hashtag hi Grant, if you get this far. And it was because I don't think he had listened to last week because he was asking about how we're doing down here today. Being home alone and in your day-to-day, the flip side of that is that, I'm here. So when the kids come home from school, you're here. And it's like, hey, it's an opportunity to bright part of the day kind of thing. And you get to see the things that normally you wouldn't because you're up at an office.
Right.
But also because you're telecommuting, your social interaction is nil. So when you have the little things of the kids coming home or your wife or your spouse or your partner or whatever coming like in and out on an errand.
They are the social.
There's a social thing. But by and large, you're self-contained. You're fully functioned on getting, once you get through a couple of the phases, it's like this is the shoe I wear. This is just how it works. So what you may lose in focus at the beginning because you're like, wow, I'm at home, and you kind of get scatterbrained, happens. But then eventually you find your groove.
Yeah.
But then you start to yearn for, I kind of miss the water cooler moments.
Mm-hmm.
So then, as the kids get older and they start sharing some of the time, what I've noticed now in the last couple things is now I'm so used to being home, but in the back of my mind, I'm aware that I could leave if I wanted, right? I could go somewhere on my lunch break. I can get in the car and I can go wherever I want, and I'm fine. But now it's like, no, my job is the same. My hours are the same. But now I'm being told you can't go out. It's like normally 95% of my day, I don't go fucking anywhere. But I could if I wanted.
Right.
But now you can't. And I was talking with Grant. He's like, no, the joke is that, well, now I'm oppressed. I don't even need to go out. But if I wanted to, I can't. And that's bullshit.
The man is keeping you down.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But two, now it's like, I kind of need some of the silence. You almost don't realize how much silence and focus you're afforded in the groove that you've been building in because no one is there.
Yeah.
And now they're always there. And it's like, okay, where's my,
Yeah.
you know, it's even awkward for the telecommuters. I can
Well,
as we adjust.
I had to go into the office today, mainly because I needed to pick up stuff to bring home
Yeah.
so I could work from home still. But I spent the day in the office, and that afforded a couple funny conversations. And one of them was with one of our engineers who is like, the whole idea of going into an office to have your butt in a seat in a space at the office is arcane. He goes, I'm not motivated to work just because I'm sitting in the office.
Yeah.
I'm not productive necessarily just because I'm here at the office. There are countless times where it's like maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night and I'm thinking about work stuff
Yeah.
where I could be totally productive if I just logged in, if I was working from home, and I would be totally productive for 2 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Rather than having to be at the office and maybe not being motivated or not necessarily being productive.
Yeah.
And so it's very arbitrary.
Yeah.
Right?
And we I think, I don't know how much we've elaborated on air about it, but I think some of the support roles, particularly in technology, the management of those positions hasn't quite caught up with the ability for those positions to be remote.
Right.
It's like everything is so, again, this is a lot more geared towards technology. It's like, exactly as the person was saying, it's like, my productivity in the job function that I do is not focused or narrowed by where I sit.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I am productive wherever there's a keyboard.
Yeah.
Because that's how my job works.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, and I've been doing this same sort of technology job for decades now,
Mm-hmm.
and yet the concept of you may perform your duty or you may be less distracted if you were sitting in an office next to somebody
Right.
doing the same job as you, how that makes you a more productive worker.
Right.
I have yet to see that being proven. Now,
Yeah.
that doesn't work, I'm sure, for plenty of other positions.
Yeah. For me personally, I mean, I'm in the tech industry, but the job that I have requires me to use
Right.
test equipment things
Exactly.
that are very expensive.
Right.
And so not everybody has these pieces of equipment. They
Right,
kind of
right.
float around the office like whoever needs them.
Right.
And then they don't necessarily want those very high dollar things leaving the office.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
But you could see, too, how if that company, right, we almost like are forced to identify an opportunity for someone to make a product that would, if I could get you to be able to do your QA job at your own schedule, but still get the same amount of productivity out of you that didn't require you to come into the office, is there a remote technology product, hardware-wise, that would allow you to switch cables or, perform hardware press buttons that doesn't exist that would make your job easier?
Well, that's the thing is these the pieces of hardware and software that I test, those can be controlled remotely. Now, you can't necessarily do everything.
Right. Oh, yeah. Not,
But also the test equipments are all networkified as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can log into those and run those. But there is some amount of mechanical changing things
I mean,
that have to happen.
your guys in like networking who are working on routers and whatnot, at some point, someone's going to have to jack in a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable kind of thing, or a
Yeah.
fiber cable. Someone's going to have to physically be there.
Yeah.
And on occasion, I think it would only make sense that if you're doing that kind of equipment, that as a cross-check, you still want to have a physical, tangible, like, okay, I did this test as well, and I was here to see it.
Right.
I think that all of that still needs to happen at some point. But if it was possible for you to spend 70% of your work week at home getting 70% of your work week at home doing all of your tests and 30% of your work week in the office, and you did 110% of your productivity.
Well, that's asking a lot.
As opposed to having to drive.
Yeah.
Would that be worth it to any workforce? Not you specifically.
Yeah. Oh, probably.
I would think. Who wouldn't?
I mean, I tell you what, working at home, I definitely am enjoying not paying all the money for the gas.
Right.
I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, there's all kinds of, we see like the trickle-down fallout of people being left or being told to like self-isolate and distance one. You see like the drawback of industry and human footprint of nastiness all over. And
right.
like, how some of those things trickle down. People being able to work remote is the same way. Like, what happens when your company no longer has to pay for climate, heating and air at your building? If you could downsize your building because you're rotating personnel, your leases, your company can then probably, publicize that they're more green because you're keeping your workers off, so there's less carbon emissions from your building. I mean, there's all kinds of go green climate pluses to finding a way to get your employees and morale, right?
Yeah.
If you're not stuck in traffic, like,
yeah.
Yeah. And what's that do for the economy when you don't have to pay $200 in gas plus a month? You can put that into, consumer goods.
Yeah.
Very all kinds of crazy fallout stuff there.
I always wonder what the, there's a lot of talk about working from home. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not just the tech industry, right? I mean, there's a lot of other industries that people can work from home, especially like sales guys and things like that aren't necessarily attached to the tech industry.
I think it'll be curious to. I mean, it's like it's no different than the last couple episodes where we talk about like the things that, like the NAB or conventions, or anything where you're trying to gauge your business's productivity and metrics and success based off of the current model of having someone do the tried and true. Mm-hmm. Here you have an opportunity. It's like, well, some of these positions, a bank teller or a car mechanic, there's no telecommute there.
Right.
But I'm sure there are some businesses, perhaps even I think restaurants, where if you come out of this on the other side, being able to shift your kitchen or your restaurant to a model where you have takeout only and not a dining space, and you come out plus, you may evaluate the size of your, you get the size of your business, whether or not that model makes more sense to you in the long term. Tap to pay things as opposed to dealing with cash and like tangible touchies. It's like there are crazy opportunities across the board, I think, and it's like this is like one of those catalysts where you don't move your business until you're almost forced to see it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what I want to see is the work from home fry cook.
Yeah.
I want to see how that works.
Yeah, you gotta come and pick up your churros.
It all comes back to the
like
churros.
a super sanitary churro truck.
Yeah.
We had a couple. So we've been trying locally. So I heard it on the radio. We went to the grocery store. It was I think one of the local radio stations was doing like a shop local. Like we're creating like of businesses local that are doing takeout.
Is this separate from like the takeout night or whatever tonight is?
Yes, this was separate. I
Okay.
think there's some local radio station that's doing a like a compilation of businesses that are transitioning to takeout or pick up at the window or kind of thing,
Yeah.
or delivery. Excuse me. Right off the bat, we had tried. Damn it!
Nick's Taco?
It was Nick's Taco. Nothing but a good experience there.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we did McCooney's.
Okay.
Their app to buy stuff and then pick it up didn't seem to work, so we just called it in. But, I mean, the food was awesome as per always.
Yeah.
And everyone was really cordial, per
Yeah.
always. It was just takeout.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to try the Lazy Dog.
Yeah.
Apparently, I always like their food. They're big portions as well.
Yeah, Eureka, too, is another place to try.
We did do the grocery store. We made the the go-kart e-cart where you send in your grocery list. Some of it wasn't there, which was reasonable because everybody was buying all shit still most of last
How
week.
easy was that? Because we ran into a situation where we were trying to do the online order thing to go pick up, and there wasn't any pickups available for like a week.
Venus did ours, and we had drawbacks, but I think that was our timing. So Venus did our menu or our grocery list, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday of last week for pickup on Sunday. And when we went to, and as far as I know, they turned off some of the options that was like where they would contact you if something wasn't available.
Oh,
to
because it was expected.
I imagine. So
oh no, half this shit's
yeah,
gotten on
and
here.
they also turned off. I believe they turned off the like your ability to add stuff before your pickup. So they turned that off. So we did ours so early that I think they started putting stuff together maybe midweek when things weren't there. So when she went to go pick up groceries, our list was short a number of items.
Okay.
But not drastic, like, oh my God, there's nothing in here.
Right.
But it was short stuff. So when she got it back, we went through, and this was what was cool about it. So we looked at the menu and what we were going to plan for meals for the week.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, so what did we get short? Like it was
What didn't we get?
Yeah, it was cheese, chicken, and I think a couple other things. So some of our meals had cheese and chicken in them. So I'm like, oh, so here's what we need to do. So I said, let's go to the store right now, and let's see what the store has like available, and we'll plan the missing meals around whatever we can buy.
Yeah.
Because we're not hard locked into menus, and we're both decent in the kitchen. So it's not like we can't make something from whatever's left.
Right.
And I said, too, I think it's important that we assess like the state of the grocery store to see, one, how busy it is and whether or not these things are actually
It's
gone.
good to get actual eyes in there.
Right. We went in. Everyone was super awesome. I have nothing but like accolades for the Rayleigh staff over there. Everyone was happy. There was hand sanitizer and whatnot. There was chicken.
Did they have balloons filled with hand sanitizer?
No, they did not. There was tons of chicken. There was tons of cheese, which leads me. It was sliced cheese for like sandwiches and whatnot, which led me to believe that probably wherever we submitted our list at that time, there wasn't any. There were no eggs. There were no frozen waffles. The top ramen aisle was still completely void of anything.
Right.
The toilet paper and paper products, and I feel sorry for some dudes that are probably wiping their ass with paper towels or napkins
Or do they still have newspaper?
Newspaper. Yeah,
Magazines.
the sack B was still but so we ended up being able to make the same meal that we were going to make anyway.
Yeah.
Good experience there as well.
We did Saturday. We got up early and made it to Safeway at like 6 minutes after 6. They open at 6 o'clock in the morning. So Saturday morning, my wife and I were like, let's go.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and I was totally blown away. The meat section looked like Soviet Russia in 1989.
What? Nothing?
There was nothing. Like nothing.
Wow.
It was insane. And all the bread was gone.
Yeah, bread was gone.
The milk, I think the milk was gone. There were no eggs. Like you said, all the pasta was like wiped out.
Yeah.
The canned goods were very picked over. Lots of chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We can make nachos.
Yeah.
But we can't put meat on them.
Yeah, the cheese was kind of decimated. There was some, but not very much. It was very downtrodden.
Yeah.
And you see people like walking around like going, what is happening? It was very weird. For 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
First of all, this is a 24-hour Safeway.
Mm.
They are not 24 hours now.
Oh.
They're closing at like 10 and opening at 6. So it was very weird. We got some toilet paper there. They actually had, we got like one of the last 12 pack rolls of paper that was on the shelf.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Huh.
So we did that. We checked out. The checker was insanely cool. It was very weird because you don't line up at the check stands.
Mm-hmm.
They have you lining up down one of the aisles, and then the first person leaves the breezeway empty,
Mm-hmm.
and when they finish checking someone out, they call you up, and then you cross over to the check stand.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I was going to say, too, Rayleigh's had 6-foot blue marks on the floor.
Bel Air
like,
did
see,
that.
they get it. They
Yeah.
it's not that this isn't fucking that hard.
Right.
You know, and it's nice, you know, yeah.
Now, after we left, we still needed some stuff that we
Okay.
were missing, so we went to Walmart.
Okay.
And our Walmart is a 24-hour Walmart,
yeah.
but it opens at 7.
Oh.
It's also closed at night for restocking, apparently.
And sanitizing. I think Rayleigh's and Bel Air do their sanitizing stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there was a huge line, and we got there like 6 or 4 minutes before 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have to wait in line long. They opened. The line snaked around the side of the building and then went into the front. We snaked around. We went in, and the employees were very cheery. How you doing? Good morning. They're counting everybody coming in to make sure that they're not allowing too many people in.
Right.
Most of that line that we waited through went straight to the toilet paper and paper goods products.
Yeah.
And there was a line, you know Walmart, right?
Yeah.
There's a line from the back wall where the toilet paper is all the way to like the women's clothes for toilet paper.
Wow.
And then they would only hand out some amount.
Yeah.
They had meat on the shelf. There was milk. There was eggs. I mean, we couldn't believe it. Like I was thought, oh, Walmart's just going to be trash because everybody shops at Walmart.
Right.
And it was bright and cheery. People were happy to see you. It was a totally different experience between the Safeway
Yeah.
and Walmart.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. And I'm walking around. We didn't even get a cart because we only went in for a couple of things. And now I'm walking around with pieces of beef, you know, like a tri-tip and shit. And just because it's like, it's here. I might as well get something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And we ended up cooking it on Sunday. But, I mean.
That reminds me, too, the getting something.
Yeah.
So because we had talked about, the hoarding.
Yes.
Now, I get that some of these people are being total asshats.
Right.
And they're like, I'm going to done sell this on the corner for $50. And, you know,
Yeah.
fuck those guys.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
But a number of articles that I had read were like, you know, in an emergency or a critical situation, it's like built in to nest,
hoard
to
something.
hoard,
Yeah.
to collect. So when we went into the store, I was like, well, you go to the meats and see what they've got for meats. And she's like, okay, so go check out cheese and see what the deal is with cheese. 'Cause I'm
Right.
like, there's a whole like government cheese joke in there. And I'm like, man, we can't even get the cheese. It's like fucking, you know, I remember needing government cheese when we lived in LA. And it was just like, I can't believe I can't get fucking cheese, man.
Right.
So I head back to the cheese aisle, and we need it for sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's it. And I there's tons of cheese here. There's tons of it here. I grabbed a thing of provolone and I went, well, I should grab another one so then we can freeze it. And I went, in my hand as I'm coming out of the counter, the cabinet, I realize I've got a handful of fucking cheese that I really didn't need.
Right. Well, you're
And
just
I went,
now worried. Yeah.
I
I should get some while it's here.
Right.
That's the mentality.
Right. And I went, I don't really need it. So I grabbed one of Colby and one of my provolone, and I put the rest back, and I went, but it was automatic.
Yeah.
I just went, I can justify this. I have a freezer.
Yeah.
And there's some extra here. It doesn't look like I would have to, portion myself because there's the whole little hook is full of them. So I'll grab 2 of each.
Yeah.
And I'll freeze both of the spares.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need to.
What am I doing?
I'm like, what? How crazy was that? Like primal human just went, collect all of it.
It's here.
Put it in the basket.
I see it.
Yeah. It's,
Well, I bought this giant thing of ground beef.
Yeah.
And I have a food sealer.
Yeah.
So when I get home after I edit the show and
Yeah.
publish it, I'm going to take that thing out of the fridge and divide it up and put it in food seal bags. And
and oftentimes for that's
Yeah.
just good money. You're saving money by buying like a 5-pound hamburger.
Well, we
and
never buy that much.
portion.
It was a purchase because it was there, and we knew we were going to be making hamburgers and stuff.
Oh.
So it's like, well, there wasn't a smaller pack. I would have bought the smaller pack. There was just the big one. I'm like, well, I have a food sealer. I'll just take it home and I'll divide it up and we can freeze the rest and be done with it. So it's like, I think we're good on hamburger meat for a little bit.
And I really liked how Venus and I had just like, as soon as we sat down and we realized, okay, so we have to readjust the menu. It was probably, we had talked about it as a family, like we kind of do probably roughly 8 to 10 meals, like in a rotation.
Yeah.
But everything is pretty simple because we're both busy and it's, the kids and whatnot. So it's like,
that's how we
roll. We don't do 30 different dishes in a month. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So we had talked about how, if things get close, we'll have to start switching up and making different stuff. And we kind of like, well, the back of the mind.
Yeah.
But the second she came home with the groceries, I'm like, come on back to the office and let's like hash it out. I was excited. I'm like, we're going to make some new shit, and it doesn't have, I think to a lot of people, that's daunting. Like, this is my jam, and I have all these external pressures of what's going on with all of this other garbage.
Yeah.
To be faced with, now I have to make a meal which is outside of my comfort food or my comfort dishes or the things that I know to go to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that hard. Don't be scared. If you're looking for a cookbook on really good food, really simple, pick up a Gordon Ramsay cookbook.
Yeah, or just the internet is ripe with recipes, man.
Finding, and I guarantee you'll probably be more surprised than most about how simple you can make, a soup or a 3-item main course that probably tastes better than you thought it would, and it only had three parts. It's like, when you let the ingredients do the thing.
Well, the thing that kind of blows my mind, if we go to the store and spend $200 on stuff, or maybe $250 or something like that, right?
Yep.
That's only for us probably maybe 4 or 5 meals.
Yeah, that's about right for us.
Yeah, to go out to dinner. But if you spend that kind of money and you're putting it away in your fridge and your that's multiple meals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane how much money you're saving by not going out.
Yeah. Well, we talked when I was doing the sandwiches.
Yeah.
The Phillies.
Oh yeah.
With the ribeyes.
Yep.
We bought components for my chili, and in my chili I put 2 ribeyes. There's like $45 in ribeyes in my chili, but we'll eat chili.
Yeah.
Piper, unbeknownst to me, Piper had chili for breakfast this morning.
Oh, nice.
So, we'll get multiple meals.
Do you want to hear a secret?
Yes.
Chili spaghetti with Parmesan cheese.
Oh, that would be interesting.
It's very good.
What's that called? It's got
I call it chili noodles.
like an American spaghetti.
I think
Texas spaghetti.
I think there's somewhere like Detroit or somewhere like that where they actually serve chili on spaghetti, but it's something I buy the Stag Dynamite Hot, just a can, and I'll boil up noodles, put them in there, put the chili on top and heat it, and then put a boatload of Parmesan cheese on there. Delicious.
I'll try that.
It's just
I've
like
got tons of chili.
Yeah, it's like a super hearty spaghetti sauce, really, but with beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Anyway.
But yeah, we'll,
So, side note.
making soups
Yeah.
or big pasta dishes that you can put different or pasta and put different sauces on. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Shan was watching some vlogger last night, and they're in L.A., and they made leek potato soup.
Yes, I've made one of those.
Yeah, and she vlogged it, and it was just simple. I mean, you just chop up all the crap, you put it in the pan, you put the stock in there with some seasoning, and let it cook for a while, and then she put a little bit of cream in it.
Yeah.
It looked delicious.
One of the where was
Super easy.
we used to watch the F Word, Gordon Ramsay, BBC. That was really when I don't know if I think it was just Piper when Venus and I had a lot more TV time. That really was what got me into Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And he made one of his shows. He made it was just a petite pea soup, not split pea, and it was peas, stock, maybe a sprig of mint, like
some salt, probably.
And some cream fraiche.
Yeah.
And it was, and I went, "There's no way
That's gonna taste good."
And
Yeah.
it was.
Uh-huh.
I made a pot of that. We bought his cookbook, 1 or 2 or 3 of his cookbooks, and one of them had it in it. It is an amazing, simple soup. In fact,
Yeah.
I think I've made it for one of our holidays where we'll do Venus's in-laws, and we'll just do a soup buffet thing where I'll just make 3 or 4 soups, and people will bring sides.
So you don't go down to Split P. Anderson's and buy a gallon?
No.
I'm
But
joking.
I have my dad does. He fancies a split pea and ham.
Okay.
I'm more of I like a crispy pea.
Yeah.
But when it's midwinter and the snow or something, I can see how you've just got a ham hock. God, I'm hungry as fuck right now. And that's how he makes it. He'll stock a ham hock that was frozen from some who knows when that he got from SPD for
Right.
2 for 1 or whatever. And he'll just let that sit all weekend, and then Monday he'll be like, "I had split peas in the ham hock, and that fucker just fell apart in my mouth." I'm like, "Dad."
Now, have you made the Gordon Ramsay? He has his way of making scrambled eggs.
I can eat them that way.
You don't like him?
They're
super creamy, right?
Yeah, it's good for if I'm making a burrito. I'm putting something in, but it's a little too close to a runny egg for me. Not a runny egg because I like my yolk.
It's
over
semi-firm,
easy.
but it's still a little bit too liquidy.
Yeah. I've had it and I've made it that way. I just prefer them a little bit more taut, a little bit more together.
Yeah, a little more firm.
If you cook them a little longer and use the cream fraiche and whatnot that he does, it's still good, but it's not his way. He likes it, not runny's
Loose.
not fair, but looser,
more liquidy.
not quite as firm. We were talking about boobs.
Oh,
wow,
loose, saggy,
perky eggs. Hello, how are you? Not my bag.
Okay, just wondering.
but I have had them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make them. I just haven't had the opportunity.
I have not had something out of one of his cookbooks that I went, no. The consistency of the eggs wasn't my cup of tea, but it was still
delicious.
It was still good.
Yeah.
It was still good.
Yeah.
And that they're all easy.
It's all simple stuff.
It is.
That's what's amazing.
That's
about
his thing. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be overly complicated.
Unless you're doing, what's the beef Wellington?
Right. Well, yeah, that. But
That's
even then, it's as simple. It's just like a decent cook. Your amount of effort is higher.
Yeah, there's a lot of technique involved in that with like the pastry and all that stuff.
Yeah. And he knows his shit because we had that when we were over in the UK.
Yeah.
Well, Angie and Mike did.
Uh-huh.
Hashtag hi Mike. Hashtag hi Dragon.
Dragon.
Dragon?
Dragon.
I was trying to nail them all really fast. They had it, and it was really good. Now, speaking of that, though, the mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had some of those European chefs' version of mashed potatoes? It's almost gummy. It's and it has a lot to do with the type of potato that they use.
They're not using regular russets.
No, they aren't. And they also do a thing where they're pressing it through like a sieve,
super smooth.
Yeah, and then they fold it through that.
But
it gets close to like you do that too much and then it starts to like form long chains, and then it gets like Play-Doh-y. But there is some sort of middle space where it's fucking magic. And they're mashed potatoes at his restaurant there where we had where we were at in the UK, his restaurant. The mashed potatoes were fucking amazeballs.
I bet they
I
are.
don't know how they
I'm
did
kind
it.
of partial to like country, kind of chunky skin on mashed potatoes, like red potatoes or something.
I like that too. Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah. I don't mind like skin in my potatoes. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's like.
But I mean, mashed potatoes in general, just bring it on.
Yeah, I'll eat
all fucking bowl
I'll eat
of
it.
that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted some mashed potatoes too? Because
yeah.
this is just my dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, sorry. Yeah.
I remember back in the day, Chili's used to have they had a fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy. Dude.
Chicken fried chicken.
It was chicken fried chicken, so like a pounded out piece of chicken fried.
Yeah.
Breaded and fried, and then served with their chunky mashed potatoes with their white gravy in it.
Oh.
Dude. I used to get that all the time.
Hmm.
It's delicious. They don't have it anymore.
Yeah. It was probably radioactive.
They're like 7 or 8 menus beyond that now, easily.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Easy.
I feel like they change their menu once a week.
Have you tried something like the gravy stuff over at there's the kitchen that's over by Home Depot and Lowe's.
The kitchen?
It's like a Waffle House or a pancake house.
And
they only
do.
Yes, I think that's it. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Have you been in there for their breakfast?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Boysenberries and something.
I'm drawing a blank, but we're on the same location and the same place.
Yeah. No, they have good food there.
Yeah, they had good like home style potatoes, like breakfast potatoes, like big chunky with peppers and whatnot in there.
They make a decent breakfast burrito.
I feel that probably their gravy is pre-canned, and that's fine. But
I kind of wonder. I don't know.
God, place is that big.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think they're making it from scratch?
Probably.
You don't think
not.
some guy's getting up super early?
No, I don't think so.
What gives you the impression?
That it looks like the stuff that I bought in the can.
Why are you making gravy from a can?
As a test.
Oh.
Sometimes,
you just
dude,
wanted to see?
Yeah, when you want biscuits and gravy and you just don't have the time.
Well, Shan bought the packet, so you make it from the packet.
Somebody makes. This is a guilty pleasure. Somebody makes a can of like
Whoop-ass?
English white gravy or something like that, and it has
English white gravy.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't know. And it has like sausage chunks, which I put on probably par as like simulated sausage bits, like Bako bits or something.
Oh, they're not real sausage?
No. So I've put some of it in a saucepan and then cooked like some links and then diced up the links and then put that in the gravy so I didn't feel guilty about eating whatever the simulated sausage was.
Okay.
Sausage like protein. So I put real sausage in.
You know what it is? It's pig assholes.
Yeah, well, I don't judge.
You're like, what's the...
It tastes like the Mikuni's octopus.
I don't want to know.
You just gum on it.
Yeah, sometimes the calamari can be...
Yeah.
If it's doing that, I don't think I want it.
No. Anyway, it's not bad. But I think they're probably...
But she made biscuits and gravy over the weekend. Maybe Sunday morning.
Like buttermilk biscuits?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like the Grands biscuits.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She didn't make them from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
But she made the biscuits, and then she was like, I need some gravy. And then we went to the store, and there was no gravy on
Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. There wasn't any. And then Chandler looked, and there wasn't any. And then he went again for some reason, there was some. So, and it's just a packet, and you mix it probably with water. I don't even know how it's made. I didn't eat any. I didn't try it.
Do you like biscuits and gravy?
I think I got up and had like I made myself a English muffin.
Oh.
Just a regular, just toast it real dark. I like it crispy. Put some butter on it.
I love a really good biscuit and gravy. Yeah.
I don't know. Biscuits and gravy kind of, I can
Really?
leave it. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
It's like, I know the gravy's just...
Garbage.
It's total garbage.
It's totally bad.
It's real bad. It's not like mashed potatoes and gravy where I'm like, oh, I know where this gravy is coming from. And, the drippings in the pan or like a Thanksgiving. It's like, the white gravy that they're giving you.
What do they make that with?
I don't really want to know, man.
Just a line of dudes.
It's just...
They just toss it.
Hey, we got another table out here on 5. Who wants the gravy? Oh, shit.
They just tape a pepper shaker to the back of their hands. And
yeah. We're all on self-quarantine. Get Harold out here and get some more gravy.
Get the whisk.
Get the whisk out. We're going to have to put some air into this to get it more body.
And get the...
You're losing your shit, man.
Get the biscuits out of the oven.
Don't bite his nuts again. For God's sake, we were offline for 10 minutes.
Who told you to put a bomb on? Oh, we're starting to lose it.
I ain't seen him move that fast since the Icy Hot.
If it tastes like Icy Hot, you've made some bad gravy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, protein giblets.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm just glad today's starting to come to a close. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it
started out shitty. Middle of it was shitty.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping right now that it's okay.
How much further down?
How far much further?
How far?
For those of you not in the know, some fucking hillbilly decided to road rage on me and take out the quarter panel of my Cadillac today. So that was fucking great. Yeah.
I bet that dude probably drove that entire... That's the kind of mentality that I see from that. He probably just needed to get off somewhere in Upper Auburn.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened to him after he left. CHP was there. Took a report.
Yeah. Or, probably only needed to get to Combi, but you were just...
Oh, it happened after Combi.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Your first incident probably, right?
Oh, maybe.
Was up towards Lime Kiln.
Well, that's what was weird about it was the guy came out of nowhere up at Lime Kiln. Like, I didn't even know he was there. Where the fuck did this guy... And suddenly he's behind me, didn't even give him two thoughts. And not to mention there's a stack of cars for like half a mile in front of me with a semi and all this shit. No one's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But why at the end of the turn lane or the passing lane, he decides he needs to get around me for some reason? I have no idea. I didn't cut anybody off.
Yeah.
He just decided it was time to get around this guy. And as he's coming around me, there's nowhere for him to go. He's piling up on the truck in front of him.
Yeah.
And I look over and I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And he's giving me the finger already. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You literally can't go anywhere. You literally can't go anywhere.
You're just representative of the man in a better life in your fancy Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, I'm going to wreck this dude's day. It reminded, when you were telling it to me, it reminded me of, I'm trying to remember I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was Kathy Bates. She's at a grocery store or something, and she's coming out, and some teenagers or 20-year-olds in like a little young hotness car like box her in.
Just decide to fuck with her.
They're just like flippant, like, and I can't remember if they boxed her in or they parked her really close so she couldn't get into her car with her groceries. Oh. And she like gets in her, they're in the wrong clearly, but she's just like, fuck it. She gets in the car and she like backs into him or does something to him. And they're like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm 40 fucking years old and I've got tons of insurance. I don't care. Yeah. And this just sounds like the hillbilly mentality of what they did. It's like, they've got nothing anyway.
They got a piece of shit pickup.
They got a piece of shit pickup, and they're just like, meh.
Yeah.
Meh. You don't need insurance to go pick up hay.
I hope he got a ticket for not having a plate on the front of his car.
I saw that. Mm-hmm. Of course, I don't have a plate on my car. Hashtag just being honest. A front plate. But I saw that, and I went, I'd be sure to like tell the CHP guy, by the way.
Oh, what's up? No plate.
You don't have a plate.
Yeah.
Try and deny that. Must have fallen off.
I mean, it'll get fixed.
Oh. So, did you see any of these movies that have come out early over the weekend?
Oh.
Or since lockdown?
What did we watch? Oh, well. My wife and I watched a really... I don't know about that specifically.
Okay.
I had to have to
something new.
Well, my wife and I watched last night. We were kind of looking through the movies on Netflix.
Okay.
We're just flipping through, looking at, look about this, what about this? And then this movie shows up, and it's called... And it's just a horrible name, okay?
Okay.
It's called Horse Girl.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Horse Girl.
Okay.
And we watched the trailer. She's like, what's Horse Girl? So I'm like, So we watched the trailer, and it looks fucking amazing. We're just blown away. Like, oh, shit.
All right.
Why has no one told us about this?
Wow, okay.
Melly, come watch Horse Girl with us. She's like, oh, hell no. Right? She's not going to watch it.
Right.
So we watch Horse Girl.
And
it is the fucking weirdest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Like Kung Fury?
Probably something like... I mean, It was just weird shit. Just fucking bizarre. And you get to the end and we're like, what just happened? What is going on? We're like, that's it? And then we were super disappointed. So don't watch Horse Girl. We gave it a thumbs down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless you
sounds like
don't
how
like
we got
yourself.
Mike to watch Velocipaster.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't like yourself,
yeah, and
you're looking to just beat yourself up, watch Horse Girl.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't watch Horse Girl.
We tried to watch. We tried to. We watched my first time Frozen 2. The girls really like it.
Yeah.
I struggled.
You didn't like it? I mean, did you like the first one?
I did. I actually did, and that's what I said when we got through with it. I'm like, it just felt like this one was too much more songy.
Okay.
Like too many more pieces in it. I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't have any problem with the songs or the amount of songs in the first one.
Uh-huh.
The
but
second,
you were struggling with this one?
It was just like, why does there have to be a song here? This doesn't work.
Well, isn't that how musicals just work in general?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like eating a bowl of leek soup, and then next thing you know, Dad's rolling out a song, and then everyone's playing along and tapping on the table.
Some of them I I don't mind. This one just seemed like it was too much.
Yeah.
And then I had problems like with a lot of the plot stuff in it.
Okay.
Which was weird because I have no problems with Frozen.
Yeah.
But it just I'm like, why all of a sudden does the mom care? Like there's no and it just like everything rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like,
Was it maybe your mood?
no, because I went into it because the
This is
girls
gonna be great.
girls love it, and I love the Panic at the Disco song
Okay.
that's in it.
Yeah.
I like that. But some of it was just like, no,
Oh.
not
I mean,
for me.
I mean, those aren't my. I'm not a
The
musical
story
guy.
didn't seem like as engaging as the first one. They're like, oh, she's got all these powers now.
Yeah.
Like, what powers? Like, oh, and they're getting really strong. Are they? Like, show me.
Are they?
Like-
How so?
How so? Yeah, they're not living in the ice castle. Olaf was already Olaf from the first one, so it's
Yeah.
like
He existed.
he was already there. But halfway through the movie, you're led to believe that she has reached the culmination of such a massive amount of power in her magic that it's only led her to this void.
What?
And I went, show me.
What? How much time elapsed before movie 1 and movie 2, like in the Frozen world? Because I mean, they look pretty much the same,
They're
right?
pretty close to the same.
I mean, it was like, did Frozen 1 end and then Frozen 2 just picked right up and they just kind of
Yeah.
are off on a new thing? Or was there like a
there was
year
just a lot of there's a lot of things that didn't
add up?
quite jive. I'm like, I have so many questions. Like, how would you know this? Like, why would they be upset about that? How come? No, anyway,
I feel like we did watch something that was. Oh no, we did. The new Pixar film. We actually bought it.
Oh, Onward.
Yes, that was a good movie.
I bought that. I haven't watched it yet.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm
I
a
mean-
Tom Holland and Chris Pratt fan.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch it either way.
I had no problems with that movie. It was
Is it a
it
musical?
was what it was.
Does it have a lot of music in it?
No, it's not a musical.
Okay, sweet.
No, it's.
Chances are I'll like it.
I thought it was a good film. I mean, I don't think anything Pixar does is really all that bad.
No.
But it was very clever. Some of the stuff they did. They're really good at that stuff, being clever.
Can you remember? Do you have a cartoon that you like a Disney movie? Here we go. I got one for you.
Okay.
Do you have a Disney movie that you saw as an adult that kind of almost removed the need to justify that you weren't a kid to be able to watch cartoons? Is there a movie that stands out? So you saw a movie as an adult where you went, I like cartoons and I'm okay with going to see Disney cartoon movies.
Oh. That's a good question.
Right.
I think you know what it was. Where it started for me was literally when I think it was Toy Story first came out. The very first Toy Story.
Okay.
No one knew what it was or what to expect from it. And I remember seeing like the trailer for it on TV and being like, "Oh, damn, I can't wait to see that." And my wife was like, "Why do you want to see that?"
Yeah.
Like she was like totally put off by it, didn't care to see it. And at the time she was working at the TV station, we got tickets for it, and we went and saw it like down at the downtown mall, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the K Street Mall.
Yeah.
And we got free tickets to go see it, and we came out of there, and my wife was like, "Oh my God, that was so good." I'm like, "No shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that was like the first time like I really like put myself out there like, I need to go see this.
Right.
This
Right.
looks amazing.
Yeah.
I think probably Toy Story, I'm going to say.
I would say for me,
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove.
Okay.
And I say that because it was one of the first Disney things where, to me, that I can recall that had a humor that almost had like the double whammies where like the kids, it was funny at a kid level, but as an adult, there were jokes in there that you would get that only an adult would get, and it was still funny. So it transcended an age bracket. Plus, it had voice actors that from my teens were really funny to me, and that was David Spade and John Goodman.
Yep.
And so it was comedians that I have followed, grew up with watching John Goodman on Roseanne and whatnot, and David Spade as a SNL guy, and his stuff with Adam Sandler, and his movies with Chris Farley. So I was already a fan. So then to see some of the jokes and stuff play out as a young adult, and then I think the real watershed moments were Lilo and Stitch and Wall-E.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like and that's what's weird about me is for those movies alone, I'm a Disney fan.
Yeah.
Disneyland, never quite so much. Like in my veins, Disney just out of the box because it's a Disney thing. No, but those three movies in particular are like standouts to me. It's like it's okay to be an adult and enjoy the cartoons that are probably more kid driven. Yeah, because they're funny to me. Yeah, and I like them. You know.
Well, one of the things that stood out to me from Toy Story was how clever they were. Like, there's so many clever little things they do, and with the characters and all that. I always, that's one of the things about the Pixar films, that they're so clever. Like the writing and everything that they do to make up the story. There's a full story there, but then there's all this other funny cleverness that you pick up on, and I love how they share bits and pieces of the story amongst other Pixar films.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the pizza truck and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff just blows my mind. I love all that kind of stuff.
Like they're baking in little nuggets.
It's like hidden
like
Mickeys.
The John Ratzenberger stuff where
it's
he's
like,
a voice. He has like a voice line in multiple of the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, it's like hidden Mickeys at Disneyland, right? Except they're buried in these movies that all have something to do with each other to a certain extent.
Is there a hidden Mickey in the Star Wars rides?
In the Star Wars rides?
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't been on the new one, but I would imagine probably somewhere.
It's on all of them, isn't it?
They bury hidden Mickeys all over the place. Now, whether or not people have seen them and talked about them, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hidden Mickeys like Star
Tours,
Space Mountain, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, all over the park. So I would imagine they wouldn't stop at the Star Wars land.
I saw a thing saying that they're going to try and open on April 1st.
That'll be interesting.
That's just about what I had to say about that one.
I mean, I felt bad when I saw. I mean, here's people that probably plan these trips.
Oh yeah.
Months in advance. They knew they were going to go to Disneyland. They fly in, like, kind of knowing something's going on, but who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They get there, and the park goes, nah, we're closed. And there were interviews with people just in tears, like, they spent all this money to get there and on tickets and hotels and travel and all that other stuff to not be able to go to the park. And man, I felt bad for them.
I just saw, I think it was this morning, it was an Arctic research project that was out at sea, and they were coming into port.
They have no idea.
And they had no idea with the coronavirus stuff. And basically, Norway went, you can't dock here. Not because they had someone with the infected on the boat, but because of the
that was going
tightening of protocols that Norway was going. They're like, you can't port here. Can't come to dock. And so this ship, who's probably one of the most unaffected and pristine, places, is like, what the fuck is going on? And how do we get people home? People on the boat just want to get
was it
home.
It's not a tour ship, right?
No, it was a research. They were doing some Arctic test or something like that. And so they were rotating in scientists, and they were coming, if I skimmed it correctly. They were coming in to rotate out scientists.
Oh.
No, absolutely not.
You're not coming here, pal.
You can, I don't know, go to Spain or something.
Well, we touched on this in our hangouts. My dad and his wife, they were on a Holland America cruise. It's a round the world cruise. It's supposed to be 4 months. And it got cut. Well, this is like the fourth one they've done.
I guess if you're retired.
Yeah, he's retired. They're expensive too. I think they're like $25,000 a person. They're really expensive.
Dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So they boarded in Florida.
Okay.
They did half of the tour, and then it was like the company just said, we're done. There's this coronavirus thing going. We're taking you to Fremantle, Australia. You're getting off. We'll help you book flights home.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they were just like, what the fuck? So not only, they probably know about the coronavirus.
Right.
But they don't know the extent of what's happening. So they're getting off of this boat and they're just being tossed into this situation like, what? And then they have to get home, and they got home yesterday, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't talked to them, but I would imagine they were probably pretty tired yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that would be
interesting to hear how that plays out. Like how if they
refunds.
Stuff. Refunds and.
I mean, they only got half the tour that they were paying for, so I would imagine there's some.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know. I have to talk to my dad at some point here in the near future.
Because we also covered in Hangouts, there were a number of people, not necessarily from that cruise, but I had seen that some congressmen were being reached out to by other Americans abroad who were like, I'm stuck here. I can't get home. Like, no one's letting me leave my location. And some of these congressmen had to, like, pull strings to get people on a flight to get them back. So you could sit in your fucking house. You might have been better.
Maybe. I mean, would you be better in another country where who knows what or maybe they're doing more.
Yeah, if it was South Korea, they're probably doing...
They seem to be doing all right.
They seem to have a handle on it.
And they didn't have to shut down the country to do it, which is interesting. I don't know how they pulled that one off.
A lot of testing. They're doing something that I haven't seen anyone really talking about here, and that is like the footprinting. Like when they do your testing, they're like, so who have you come in contact with? So it's like almost like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing. Like, okay, so you went to the grocery store. When did you go? And who did you talk to? Like, who did you know anybody? And so they're making like those like plot maps of.
Oh, really?
Okay, so these people are infected. Did this person have 6 degrees of actual touching of a thing?
Oh, my Lord.
Kind of thing. And there were much easier to like identify. Okay, these people are all fine because they've never come in contact with anyone in this group, so we can focus all of our energy and resources to all of these people that have gone here. We only really need to clean this spot because based off of connectivity, that's where you go.
That's amazing.
If you could isolate the Midwestern states because you could actually 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, everyone in the Midwest that no one from the either coast had gotten there, you could say, you guys are fine.
Yeah.
And you lock down that region and you just say, go nuts, make fucking ventilators. But because we can't even get that far because we don't have testing stuff.
Oh my God.
We can't get there. That's how South Korea did it. Amazing. Fucking human ingenuity. Tesla's repurposing to make ventilators and masks, I think.
Yeah,
I saw Ford is doing masks or ventilators.
How about masks?
And I saw it was cool. They're using like parts from the truck.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Here's a.
We're there. It's just you gotta let humans off the chain every once in a while to like let the ingenuity just go bonkers.
Yeah,
and we'll get some stuff.
Ford's like, hey, man, just strap this catalytic converter to
Yeah.
your face.
Yeah.
Just breathe through this for a while.
Maybe once that stuff rinses through the palladium in there, you're good to go. Trust me.
Yeah, and I think GM was doing respirators.
Were they?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember correctly. I don't know. There's so much info out there.
Yeah. Work time.
Okay. Well, don't see it getting any worse today.
No. Let's go home.
Hopefully not.
Have a good drink. Hopefully a good sleep. Do you have to go in tomorrow too?
No. I got a bunch of gear now. So I'll spend half the day probably setting it up or figuring out how to get it set up. So should be good.
Alrighty. Well, that's a show for us.
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
Stay at home and wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You have to sing that twice because that's a lot of singing.
It's 20 seconds.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, 20 seconds.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in.
See you next week.
Bye.